Hello and welcome to 5 Quick Questions. Today we have Jen Mielke on the show. Jen is our program lead for Enbridge and the Enbridge Student Summer Program, and brings with her 20 years of experience in recruitment. Hi, Jen. How are you doing today?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you sharing all of your knowledge and wisdom with the folks out there on LinkedIn.
Thanks.
The job market isn't as strong today as it was in 2023, and I've heard young people in particular are being hard hit by that difficulty finding work. Um, how can a summer or co-op placement help students get a leg up in the job market?
Well, for starters, a co-op gives a student relevant industry experience that they can carry on post-graduation. It allows them to apply what they've learned in school in real life professional situations. A summer job, even within an organization like Enbridge, if it isn't exactly aligned with their program, it still gives them exposure to a corporate environment. And overall, any future employer will look at that summer job or co-op and see that a student has some practical hands-on experience. And even if it's a different company and a different role, having that experience tends to speed up learning curves in new professional environments.
For some students, getting a full-time job out of a co-op or summer placement is an ideal situation. How great would that be? Get your placement and then bang, there's your job. But that isn't always possible, obviously, in every situation. But what can a student do to take advantage of a summer co-op, even if they're not necessarily going to get that full-time job at the end of it?
My advice is to soak everything up like a sponge. Ask questions, learn, network, take every advantage within that organization um, to participate in any opportunities that are going to help you grow professionally. Something as simple as volunteering for a company barbecue and you put your hand up to make the flyers. Maybe you have a passion you didn't realize for creative design or graphic design, and maybe that's something that you can take with you into another role in the future.
So students have a few different options when it comes to summer work, maybe taking a seasonal job, working at a camp or something, maybe in a retail setting where they need summer help. That's what I used to do in the summers. What are some of the advantages of working with Enbridge instead of some of those other options that students might have?
Enbridge is a very well-known company in North America. They're a leader in energy. So I think it's a great company to have on your resume. You are exposed to a corporate environment. You're exposed to a company that has offices all around North America. So you'll learn a little bit about how those different locations and different departments and business units all work together. Another thing is that the student jobs at Enbridge tend to have a regular, consistent schedule during regular business hours, Monday to Friday. So it gives students an ability to schedule other activities or perhaps take a class in the evenings. And I've been told also by schools that Enbridge rates very high among students when it comes to networking and access to leadership. And I think the final thing is that Enbridge embraces corporate values that are safety, integrity, respect, inclusion, and high performance. And with that comes a lot of training. So not only will they provide training or workshops or guest speakers connected to some of their values, but the safety is such a large thing. And that training can be taken to future jobs. So for example, a student might be hired to cut grass and do small maintenance jobs at one of the facilities. but they will also receive training on how to identify oil spills on the ground or in water, and fire safety training if they have to do a watch within a tunnel. And, that's something that you're not going to get at working, at a store, for example.
Applications for Enbridge are over for this year. They end, I guess, in the late spring, early summer sort of area. So done for this year, but what can a student do now to prepare for applications for next year?
If you're a co-op student, I would suggest to connect with your co-op advisor as early in the year as possible. Get an idea of the types of roles that you'd be interested in, the types of organizations and industries you would be interested in. Do your research. Make a list of your strengths, make a list of, what you like to do, what you're good at doing, and how would that fit into particular student jobs. Get an understanding of what you'd like to get out of your next job or co-op. And then based on that, start preparing your resume. Start highlighting some of the achievements. Even if you don't have any professional experience, what type of projects have you done at school? Have you done any volunteer work? Do you play team sports? These are all great things that you can add to your resume that employers will look at.
It's easy to forget that in any scenario, recruitment is kind of a competitive pursuit, right? And just because you don't have any job experience applying for a co-op, well, probably a lot of the people don't necessarily have job experience in that same spot. So you have to look good relative to those other people who are going to have, very similar base qualifications as you. So what else do you have? What else can you put on there to differentiate yourself?
Absolutely. Students, I find for the most part, are on a very similar level of experience. But an employer would know and understand that a student is coming in to learn and gain experience and use that in the future. Within playing team sports, for example, you would have to learn to work together as a team. If you are head of some sort of student association or committee, you start to see the leadership skills. I remember one time an employer looking at a resume and commenting. There was a student who had worked part-time during the school year delivering pizzas, was in a very difficult program, had a very high grade point average, and the hiring manager commented, this student must have a good handle on managing their time.
If there's somebody out there who's maybe interested in applying to the Enbridge student program, or maybe knows someone who could be, maybe someone in their family, a child, a friend, somebody who might be interested in checking this out, how do they learn more and apply?
So the first would be to join our talent community. You would also want to connect with your co-op office. All of the co-op positions within Canada are posted at the schools on the co-op job boards. And also keep an eye on Enbridge's career page. They do have a subsection for students as well.
Okay, great. And we'll post a link to that in the comments so everyone can join the Enbridge talent community. But aside from that, Jen, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for talking to us today.
Thanks so much.
Bye for now.
Bye.